Okay, in this video, guys, this is a small little addition to a previous video that I did earlier, which was looking at the OPC protocol with UAExpert, but I did it on TIA version 16, or sorry, version 14. I'm going to look at it on version 16 at the moment because there is a slight difference in the steps, but only a small change, nothing too major. And just for argument's sake, I've also done it with a 1200 PLC, just to show you that it can be done in different PLCs. It's a 1200 PLC, but you just got to make sure you got the right firmware. So if you ever look at your PLC and you go into some of the stuff that's supported with it, if you go into the general information, catalog information, you want to make sure that you've got the OPC availability. I know, and I think it's version 1, or 4.1 or 4.2, it doesn't work, so you've got to make sure you have the correct firmware updated as well for that. So anyway, I'm using a 1200 PLC, and similar to my setup for the other video I did in this OPCUA, I have an OPCUA server connected, activated. I have this address for the IP range, and I have my computer itself set up in that IP range as well, and I have the license activated. So everything's very similar to what I did in the previous video. I've got some inputs set up, I've got some outputs set up, I've just got some variables to look at numbers, and I've got a very small piece of ladder logic code getting downloaded into it. So everything should be the same as the last video, except with in version 16 we need to use this OPCUA communication protocol. So they actually have a dedicated function now in the newer versions of Siemens to use this. So if I go in, I need to add a new server interface. Okay, so we click on server interface and we click OK. And really what this is just doing is it's creating another table for us where we can consolidate the information from all our other folders into one easier to use information. Okay, so if I do this, sometimes this can start way over here and you actually can't see that there's two windows here. You gotta pull that across. And really what I do then is I go through all my different folders. So this is where my OPCUA data block was, and I can drag over. What I'm just doing is I'm taking all my different tags and I'm just dragging them into the one location here. Okay. Onto this server interface that I have. Okay, so I've just created that. I've passed them across. They're all here. Um, now, once I've created that, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download that into my PLC. So that'll go ahead. Remember, I'm using the hardware. I need the hardware there to set up the server and then look at it in the other software. And if I'm using UAExpert, I'll open it up here. So I'll open up UAExpert. The first time that you open this, it will ask you for some credentials. You just got to fill in your name and the organization name, and then it will let you into this window. So we'll go ahead, we'll connect. I'm just going to delete this old one, and we're going to go into custom discovery, double click the add server, and we're going to paste in, oh, I lost it. I thought I copied it. Apologies. I'm going to paste in that OPCUA server data. Remember, it's in here where our server was. That link there, we need to copy and paste that in. Okay. Now, if you get any errors once you've pasted that in, or you can't actually see this pop up then for you, it's probably due to your IP address of your computer not being in that range, that it can't see it on the network. So that's why I did the other video of how to set up that range. But now I should be able to click into my Siemens PLC. I'll set up no security. I won't bother with any of security. If you wanted to add in anything, you'd use these options. But click on no security, add it in, and click OK. Now you may need to connect the device again, so you can right click on it and connect. And then the first time you connect with the device, it'll ask you to trust it. Are you sure you want to trust it? Just say yes, that's okay. Continue. And then it should start to pass the data in. Now previously we were able to see the information in the PLC1 folder, but you'll notice it's not here with version 16. I've actually got to use the server interface, and we should have our server interface, and then there was my table that I created, and I can drag each of these properties in, and I get ultimately like a small dashboard here. I can view the data, and I can change some of the values. But remember, really what we're using this for is that if I click on one of the variables, I get its information over here. We've got a namespace, it's an integer identifier, and the number is 3. And that's the information I need to um, use it with Node-RED later. But you can see here I've got the PLC in front of me with some hardware. I should be able to activate some of the buttons. Potentially, we can see there's the reset button gone through. Depending on what else I do, you can see some of the different things getting activated there. And if you want to see if I pass in, I can even write values into my PLC. If I pass in the value of 50, we can go in here into TIA portal. We can go online and we could view the data and see that it gets automatically updated to 50. So we know that the OPCUA connection is working, but most importantly, we've seen how we've done it with the version 16, that we just have this extra kind of step. But the main reason we're doing this is to use the OPC UAExpert, this software, to get this information and this information here.